with an exclusive on the Daily Beast. It's been getting a lot of attention ahead of that Palestinian bid at the UN.
Absolutely. The Daily Beast were contacted by none other than the former Israeli Prime Minister, Ehud Olmert, who's really put his stamp on this, the attention surrounding this UN bid. He says he sees no reason to oppose the Palestinian bid for UN non-member observer status. He says it's congruent with the two-state solution, and if we're looking for peace in the region, then it's surely got to be a yes vote. Now, of course, this has attracted a lot of attention from Israeli media. Haaretz was one of the first...
Because it's not in line at all with what the government's saying.
Absolutely, and that exactly is what Haaretz pick out. They say that this is a position that will only be criticised by the Israeli government. They, from the very beginning, have been a very firm no against this bid. They say it's a very provocative move by the centre-left former politician. Perhaps it's quite timely. Maybe he might be looking to make his own inroads back into the political fray in Israel's own parliamentary elections in January. So you've got his voice involved. It's quite interesting to see on the same day what makes the front page of the Jerusalem Post, which is a Palestinian liberation official saying he isn't behind the bid at all. In fact, he says he doesn't see the point. He thinks it's pointless. This is Farouk Kaddoumi. He says if this goes ahead, it will bring no gains to the Palestinian cause. It'll change nothing on the ground. So what's the point of it, essentially? So voices from all sides sort of getting involved there. One man who might be feeling a little left out in the cold, according to a cartoon in the International Herald Tribune, is that of the US president. This is an interesting look. They say you've got the PA President Mahmoud Abbas there shaking hands with the UN Chief Ban Ki-moon, and I feel like an observer, the voice of dissent from the US President.
All right, now in the UK, the much anticipated Leveson Inquiry is going to be publishing its findings later. Yeah, lots of newspaper editors in the UK devoting column inches and probably nervously awaiting to hear the outcomes of this inquiry, which of course could have a lot of impact onto press freedom there. Let's have a quick look at some of those headlines. Front page of The Guardian, they say D-Day dawns, photos there of some of the celebrity witnesses who were called victims of the alleged phone hacking scandal carried out by the News of the World newspaper, which has sparked this inquiry. Also looking there at a potential split in the coalition government. This is also picked up by The Independent. They say the coalition is braced for a split over Leveson. This is as sort of the more right people in the coalition are saying we need more state regulation. Some towards the more liberal side saying, of course, we need more of a free press. The Sun newspaper, they're making their position very clear. You'll see there, cry freedom. This is in a reference to a lot of editors fearing that the outcome will be one of a less free media, one that is sort of state-controlled. Perhaps one of the most virulent responses, though, is from Britain's oldest political magazine, The Spectator, who have come out and said if there is state licensing, if the result of this inquiry is that there is a government regulator, we won't want to publish anymore. We would rather not operate. They said we challenged sort of press shackles in 1832, and we shall do it again. However, it is quite interesting now to turn to a bit of outside perspectives, such as one from the International Herald Tribune, who say that, in fact, current sort of press regulation in British media hasn't worked. It's an unruly press, and if they the result of this is press regulation, perhaps they brought it on themselves. And finally, I can't quite believe this. I used to live in Australia. I'd love to go back soon, and maybe one day I can fly in 5 hours.
You could soon be enjoying a cocktail on Bondi Beach. Even this afternoon, Claire, this is the European Space Agency have given the green light for a new engine to be put in production that could propel planes 4 times faster than current passenger aircrafts. They're planes that could be called the Lapcat. They could carry 300 passengers, and as you say, could fly from London to Sydney in less than 5 hours. One downside, there's no windows, but they're travelling quite quickly, so perhaps watch a few movies, have a fun.
All right, thank you very much, Katerina. You're watching Live from Paris. Coming up in business, Germany